This thing is too small.
That backpack is not too small.
It's minuscule.
Just take your school books and leave some of the other books.
I need all of my other books.
You don't need all these.
Well, I think I do.
Edna St. Vincent Millay.
That's my bus book.
Uh-huh. What's the Faulkner?
My other bus book.
So just take one bus book.
No, the Millay is a biography. And sometimes, if I'm on the bus and I pull out a biography and I think to myself, well, I don't really feel like reading about a person's life right now, then I'll switch to the novel. And then sometimes if I'm not into the novel, I'll switch back.
Still there, Michelle?
Yes,
Hold on. What is the Gore Vidal?
Oh, that's my lunch book.
Uh-huh. So lose the Vidal or the Faulkner. You don't need two novels.
Vidal's essays.
Uh-huh. But the Eudora Welty's not essays or biography.
Right.
So it's another novel. Lose it.
It's short stories.
Ugh, this is a sickness.
Ha! I made it all fit. Edna, Bill, Gore, and Eudora, all safe and sound.
Cool. That's your French book.
Oh, I know. I'm carrying my French book.
Mm-hmm. You so thought that French book was already in there.
I did not.
You have a problem.
No, I don't.
You're going to tip over backwards from the weight of that backpack.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to have to buy you a forklift.
Michelle's Books. Welcome back to my channel. Have you heard of the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge? Probably have. It's probably why you clicked on this video. I've kind of been playing around with the whole reading list because I have been binge watching Gilmore Girls recently. I really, in the past, when the show first came out, I started watching the first season, second season, here and there a little bit. It was really spotty which episodes I watched. I didn't actually watch every single episode in order. I'm really enjoying watching the Gilmore Girls again. Some YouTubers that I really enjoy watching have been talking about the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge, and I was like, you know, I wonder how many books I've actually read from that challenge. So I started to look into it a little bit more. Now, I really enjoy the listchallenges.com list that they have going on. I have an account there and I've been using the list there. I will go ahead and drop a link to that list in the description box below. The reason I like this one, because I think BuzzFeed has another really good list, but the reason I like the list challenges list, the list on list challenges is because you can quickly reference to it and you can tick off the books that you have read, you can pin the books, and you can see how many other people are using the list and what percentile you have completed the list and what percentile completion rate compared to other people who are using the list. I have completed 5%. So let's go ahead and get into the statistics. So there are 339 books on this list. I have read 18 of them. Now, before we get any further, this is not like a challenge I'm going to seek out to complete. There's just a lot of books on here, which doesn't exactly work with the books that I want to read, the other books that I'd like to read. There are tons of classics on here that I already would like to read one day eventually. So that's kind of how I'm going at this, is if I happen to read a book that I can tick off this list, that's really cool. Also, I do not intend to read every single book on this list. There's a lot of books on there that I just have no interest in at all. Political books of the Clintons and the Bushes that I don't really care for. Some writing books that Rory obviously was reading for her, her interests. There's like some travel books on there that I'm definitely not going to read, some children's books. So anyways, I wanted to go ahead and tell you the books that I have read and the books that I actually own on my shelves that I want to read. There's other books that I am definitely interested in reading, but I don't own the books. I even have some books from the list that I have in ebooks, but I haven't actually sifted through all the books I have on iBooks, so I'm not going to go over those. This is just kind of a quick look at what I have and what I've read. So let's go ahead and get into it, starting with the books that I have read. I have read Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, Diary of Anne Frank, The Bell Jar, Catcher in the Rye, Deanie, Fahrenheit 451, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, I'm sure at some point when I was a child, Hamlet, Henry V, Harry Potter #1, Harry Potter #4. I don't know why the others aren't on there. Those were the only ones that were on the list. Obviously I've read all of the Harry Potter series. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Kite Runner, Moby Dick, Of Mice and Men, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Macbeth. All right, so as for the ones that I own, we're gonna go through my bookshelves, pick them off the shelf. I was kind of toying around with this idea of putting them all on one shelf together, but I feel like that's really gonna mess with my system because I have my classic shelf down here, which pretty much that whole shelf is on this list. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna do this however it comes out. So going with the first, I have quite a few on this shelf, quite a few on this next shelf, and this shelf. I guess we'll start here and go that way. So on this shelf, I have Reading Lolita in Tehran by Azar Nafisi, The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson, Atonement by Ian McEwan, The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, Stiff, The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers by Mary Roach, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom, 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I have the illustrated edition. The Art of War by Sun Tzu, Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt. And I just realized putting this, I had to run upstairs to get this book, and I just realized I have 2 copies of this. I have a hardcover and a paperback. The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey. That is right. There are 2 books by J.R.R. Tolkien from The Lord of the Rings. There is The Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King. So I have this huge bind-up edition that has 3 books in it. So it has both of those in it. So that's pretty cool. The Daughter of Fortune by Isabel Allende. Wicked by Gregory Maguire. Getting to the next 2 shelves, I have a ton on them. Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. This one I've actually just started as well, so. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Emma by Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Move on to the Brontes. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and Jane Eyre by Emily Bronte. 1984 by George Orwell. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Trying to carry the whole stack over here. Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. I know I'm butchering that name. Sanctuary by William Faulkner. Don Quixote by Cervantes. The Canterbury Tales by Chaucer. The Divine Comedy and Inferno by Dante Alighieri. I think that's how you say his name. A collection of tales and poems by Edgar Allan Poe. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. The newest addition to my collection, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Lord of the Flies by William Golding. House of Sand and Fog by Andre Dubus. I don't know how to say that name. Now let me check my list because I know I could have sworn there was more. Oh, you know, I think it's because I was only showing the ones that I haven't read yet. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I have that one upstairs, so I didn't hold that one. So I didn't show that one. Oh, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, sorry. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I have Charlotte's Web upstairs on my son's shelf. Othello by William Shakespeare. Oh, I forgot to add one more I recently just finished like yesterday called Howl by Allen Ginsberg. I did not like that one. That's besides the point. I can add that to the to read list. So now I've read 19 books. Some other books that I have on my ebook, I'll go ahead and tell you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you some of the ebooks that I have. I think I have quite a bit more that I've recently downloaded, but the ones that I know I have for sure are Complete Poems of Anne Sexton, Flowers for Algernon, The Grapes of Wrath, Helter Skelter, Letters to a Young Poet, Memoirs of a Dutiful Daughter, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Virgin Suicide, and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. That's where I'm sitting with the Rory Gilmore reading list, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.